What's happening? What's up? This is Dark Knight. This is Dark Knight Radio. How you guys doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, on this particular Sunday night, I like to reflect. I like to get ready for the upcoming week, if you will. So there's a myriad of things I do to get my mind and my body ready for the next week. But as you well know, I do have a true story time for you guys tonight, Sunday night. Right? Now, before I get into the video, I like to just say, I'm sorry, guys. Hear my phone binging. I'm sorry, somebody's texting me. Forgive me. So I was on the phone, and tell me what you guys think about this. I was on the phone with a girl the other day, right? Late night, I said around 10 or 11. She calls me. Hey, we in that, I want to know more about you phase. So it's particulars, we discuss, right? So we get on the topic of social media and why that I'm absent from it, if you will. Because when it comes to social media, if it's not regarding business or promoting some type of business, I'm a recluse, right? So we get into a discussion about social media and its prominent impact or absence thereof, and she says, "Well, why don't you post more pictures on Instagram?" Like, I'm not a big Instagram person. That's just not me. It's not my cup of tea. I don't really see the relevance to it. So she says, doesn't that show a lack of confidence in yourself and on your appearance? Now, ironically, she says this, and I forgot, I'd be remiss to mention 5 minutes before she made that statement, she said, my phone's about to die. Because I'm 1%, 2%, right? So as soon as she made that comment or asked that question, her phone died. And I felt like it gave some type of reprieve because first of all, she was asking a question that wasn't, for lack of a better word, worth the time at the moment. You know how people ask questions that make you say, what? And I felt like that was the tip of the iceberg. When she asked me this question, I don't want to say it made me upset, but it made me agitated, and it was gonna evoke a response that I don't think she would have liked. And it was crazy the fact that the phone hung up, because this is what I preached about in my previous videos, affirmation. And I used to say how social media is inadvertently or indirectly creating this false sense of security, false sense of self-sovereignty, whether it's appearance or just thinking that social media is a mask that I can think that I'm more than what I am. I can have more friends. I have more friends than what I really have. Because you might have one friend in real life, but on social media you have tens of thousands of followers, and they give you a false sense of hope, a false sense of security, really. And it has tricked and indoctrinated us in believing that we can go to social media or technology and feel a certain type of way, and it gets women the worst. And I'm not trying to be facetious. It gets women the worst. It plays on your emotions. It plays on your subconscious. It was designed to get you addicted to it, like Las Vegas. Some of the same people who created Las Vegas created social media to get you addicted to it. I don't know for a fact Instagram, but I know for a fact for Facebook. And we've been tricked to the point we think posting pictures on Instagram shows us we have self-confidence or self-worth. And we believe that, which makes us look really stupid. And I hate to say it, but I gotta be blunt with this one. I gotta be frank. I'd rather be Dark Knight, but I gotta be frank on this one. And that's what I mean by the human interaction is dying, that we don't know how to talk to each other in the manner in which human beings should talk, but we go on social media and have etiquette. And we can look down on people for not posting pictures on social media, and we can judge them because of it. It makes us look stupid. Honestly, we'd rather put more in traveling and posting on Instagram than cherishing relationships that are failing and depleting by the second. You put focus and time into things that do not matter. Women don't care about personal relationship. They care about what you can do in a personal relationship. If you put 110% in a job and you make good money and you have status and they fire you or you die, guess what? They're going to post on the job opening. The last time I checked, they never had a funeral for money. Only for people. When you're on your deathbed, you're going to say, can I see my money one last time? Can I see my status? No. Can I see my family members one last time? And the relationship, life is too short. We don't know how to treat or talk to people. We don't want to teach anymore. We want to gain and more to do what? They shit on the next person for not having as much as we do, which is still a false sense of security. They've won. The robots have won. I've had people close to me do snake stuff that I allowed for too long out of the relationships that I coveted of them. People that are not worth your time. People who are not going to make your life better. People who are not going to generate some type of wealth with you, not tell you the truth and lie to you, are not not worth your time. We care more about money and jobs. Yes, it's important in infrastructure. But what are you really going to miss? If your parents left right now, your best friend, your girl, they left right now, you'll be devastated. If you're not a robot or a zombie, you're going to be devastated. If you lose $50 to $100, you can get that back. You don't get time and relationships back. It's too many things you can do to earn money and get money back. It might not be at the quantity you want, but over time it will be. We can get money, but we can't get time and these relationships back. We treat people like shit based on our past experiences. We don't care about people. And guess what? I'm not perfect. I'm simply trying to get you to ascertain these are the things. Somebody told it's the saying, I always trust people that drink water. I always trust people who would be vulnerable with you, who would tell you the truth. I'll come to you as a man flawed, as a man who recognizes certain flaws I have and mistakes I've made. I'm never going to sit here and preach and sell you a dream and give you a false pretense. I'm not made that way because I'm not perfect, far from it. I'm not yet cultivated. I tell you guys these stories to get you to see, hopefully somebody won't do the same thing I did. I made a lot of mistakes. Relationships, money, jobs, trying to start things for people not really caring as much. Even this podcast I had to think about, really continuing to do. But I do really feel like this is one of my callings, if you will. And I don't want to sit here and preach. I don't want to sit here and preach. It's not what this podcast is for. But when I see things and I feel it, I gotta say it. We don't want to help each other. We'd rather disconnect with people that show signs. I've had a girl get mad at me because I hate traffic, and I preach that all the time. It makes me so mad. I hate driving in daytime. I hate traffic, and I'm impatient. It's something I'm working on, right? And I'll be on the phone with her, and she would get mad at me, and she would block my number, hang up the phone because I would show anger towards traffic. Instead of understanding people or what triggers people, or taking the time to understand what we do. We don't help people. We don't talk to them. We don't ascertain. We don't understand. We'd rather cut people off. I don't think that's for me, so I'm going to cut them off. Not saying anything wrong. Your discretion. Your time is your discretion. But if someone giving you the time, if you made mistakes and they gave you a platform to speak and say sorry, and they accepted your calls back, and they gave you a second chance, you can't give them a conversation, and you look down on them because they show a moment of they show a moment of weakness, or they show you a flaw, and you can't help that person, and all they can do is turn your back. We're just spit in the face, honestly. You're human beings. You're going to continue to make mistakes. Growth are mistakes. Growth and mistakes are synonymous. If it's not hurting anyone or killing anyone, they are synonymous. But when I cut people off, I'm the bad guy. And this video was about. I digress. I once again, I've talked too much. All right. This not even what the video is supposed to be about tonight. The video tonight is supposed to be about my time, my journey in the multiverse of madness. And yes, this is a true story. All right. So this story starts when I was working at the Home Depot. This is near the beginning of my career at the Home Depot, right? Now, I worked as a lot associate. Many of you subscribers know I started on the parking lot as a cart attendant and doing, helping people with their cars, right? It was a cast of characters there when I was hired, right? Y'all know of one, and I can say that name because he's changed his name, so I can say that name now because he changed his name. And there's a lot of characters. I'm not going to give them all names. That's another story for another time. But what I'm going to do is the main person, I'm going to give him a name because this is who the video is about. I'm going to name him Hippie. Hippie, that's a perfect name, right? So when I first got hired, Hippie was one of the guys. You know how you go to a new job, there's always that guy that knows everything, that shows you around, knows who to trust, who not to trust, know where to hide in spots at, know where to eat at, know where to hide on your break, know what girl's sleeping with what dude in the store. There's always one of those people. He was one of those people. He was cool. He was a friendly guy. He was kind of guy that went with the flow. He was Hispanic, right? He had long black hair. He was a slim dude, right? He dated a girl who used to go to Georgia Tech, right? So the more and more I worked, the more and more me and Hippie started to talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude was pretty cool. He a cool dude, go with the flow type dude. He was a real hippie. He smoked weed all the time. And he would tell me wild stories about how he would have these threesomes with his girlfriend and another dude. Basically running the train on his girl, and how he was he would basically say how he would be involved with stuff, with men. But I didn't really want to get into it, but that's what he would always hint without really saying it. You know what I mean? He wasn't an aggressive guy. He was a cooler dude. You know what I'm saying? He was a good dude to talk to. He had a lot of knowledge on relationships, oddly enough, right? So me and him became kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? And he was one of the first people to really get me into. He would talk about weed all the time. He was like a aficionado with that. He was, you know what I'm saying? He was a connoisseur of weed. So Hippie would do so. He would actually give me a ride to the crib. You know what I'm saying? This is all before he used to tell me these wild stories. At first, he was a cool dude, a nice, cool dude. One day, and I got to make this video kind of short, so I'm kind of, in a nutshell. So one day, I remember it was my ex, and I remember one day it was a long day at work. So man, Will say, man, you want to go slide with me, pick my girl up, get something to eat real quick? I said, all right, bet it up. I go with you. On the way, we go by Midtown, right? Then this is all before it became Gay Town. So he had a box. Now remember, I don't know anything about weed. He had this box and it could slide in. I was glass, right? Right, you want to try it? I know you never smoked before. You want to try this? I said, man, I'm not really into all that, weed and stuff, man. This is early me. So I said, man, whatever. So it was a long day from where I was hungry. I said, man, let me see what's happening with it. I hit it, right? And and I hit it, and for the first hour or so, I was like, man, that ain't nothing, man. These niggas be talking all this, stuff about weed, man. We ain't about nothing. Remember, we by Piedmont Park area, right? Cause his girlfriend was supposed to meet him there to get some. I forget what it was. I mean, this is 10 years ago, 12 years ago. We go somewhere. He said, man, can I show you something? And I'm kind of spaced out at this point. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of gone. I'm like, like what the, how you be stuck? You know how you be driving and you drive for so long, you get stuck in that zone where you just looking straight and you forget about what's in your peripheral and you just looking straight. I think that's a driving zone. Everybody do it. So I'm in that zone. I'm like in the sunken place in my head right now. Right? I became, for that frame of time, a very, very introverted person at that time, right? He said, I'm gonna show you something, man. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna show you something. I said, all right, bet it up. So I might go ahead and drive. Take me, let me see what you're talking about. He take me to it was a street. The street was a typical street. Nothing out of the ordinary. Houses, a wooded area, bus stop that connects to a bigger street, to a main street, right? Nothing out of the ordinary, right? Now the area, I think it was in Mason Mill. I can't think of the exact street, the exact area, but it was an area that I wasn't privy to in Atlanta, right? He said, come here. So he's going over by these trees, like by this bus stop. He's going inside of it. I said, man, where you going, man? I said, where the hell you going, bro? Just quick thing. I just want to show you quick. It's about 5 minutes, man, and it's done. It's over. I said, okay. So at this point, I'm more spaced out. Everything gets more vibrant. You know what I'm saying? I can hear the butterflies around me. I can smell chicken and steak. I don't know where it's coming from. Right? And everything, my reaction time is just slow. Like if I have a scratch on my face, my hand approaches my face like really slow, and I'm scratching really slow. I don't know what was happening. And I said, now mind you, we just got off work, so I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm ready to go. I got something to do, right? So we go inside the little passageway, right? And we're walking, and time is not relative where we are, because when we went inside the little tree passage, it said one thing, and I'm thinking we're walking for 5 minutes. I look down, 2 hours have passed, and it kind of scared me. We get to this bridge, this tree, like this big tree has fell over a lake. He said, man, come on, cross and he's crossing the tree, crossing the lake, and I'm like, where did this lake come from? And I'm so paranoid at this point. I think the weed has kicked in. I'm so paranoid, I can't even put a foot on the tree. And he's doing tricks over it. He's doing Megan Thee Stallion twerk moves over it. I'm thinking, what are you doing? He's hitting a cartwheel back and forth, and what he's doing is scaring. It's like he's making me more paranoid. Dude, stop. You're gonna fall. And I couldn't get over the tree for some reason. That's how far gone I was, right? I couldn't even step on the tree to get past the lake. I don't know how I got past it though. So we end up past the tree, and it's like something blinked, something snapped like Thanos, and I'm looking back, and we have passed the tree, but I don't know how I walked over the tree, right? So we're walking, and I notice I'm sweating. I'm thinking it's like 10 seconds of us passing the tree. I look down, another 2 hours has passed. We got off work at 2, it's now 6 o'clock, right? So we're walking, and we're going down. I see we're going deeper and deeper, like we're going down a passage, like down a hill, right? We get to an old railroad, right? He said, man, you gotta go up the railroad, up the little the ladder. So we go up the ladder, and the ladder is like hundreds of feet in the air, and I don't do heights. I'm looking down. The city is like a tree line. I'm thinking, how do we get up here? And I'm paranoid. And he's doing tricks over the bridge, over the railroad, like he's falling. Look what I'm dying. Catch me, I'm falling. Can I fly? I don't know if I will. I'm gonna die. Will you catch me? I'm like, dude, stop. And I'm still paranoid. I'm thinking we were going down. How do we get this high? Literally, how do we get this high? That's a double entendre because I mean it in both ways. So we go down, right? We get down off the railroad and we go deeper again. We go deeper and deeper and deeper to where we had to go in some water. We went inside the water to come up and we get to this playground, right? Now this playground, it was people playing. Now it was hot that day. The sun was beaming. And we get to a point where we see children playing this playground, right? And all the kids had on black sunglasses, right? And they was doing the Men in Black dance, right? And the music was playing. I was like, man, why are they doing that dance? He's like, what dance? I look back, the children were gone. I promise, this is a true story. This is no cap. This is facts. The children were gone. The playground disappeared. I turn around. It's a mural. It's this brick wall. It's a mural, and it is written by artists of Atlanta. It's like graffiti, painting all over this wall, right? He's like, I know this guy. This is Tim. Over here is Robert. This, not, right? I said, man, listen. I said, we got to go. Get me on. He said, okay, man, we're going to leave. So we're walking again. We're walking. I'm thinking I just passed the wall 10 seconds ago. I look down. It's 2 hours have just passed again. It's 8 o'clock now. It's 8 o'clock. And my ex is calling me because she's saying, I'm almost at your house. You're going to be there so we can talk. At that point, we're trying to get back together. Don't ask me why. We still walking. He's in front of me the whole time. And I'm thinking in my head, okay, now I'm really paranoid. I'm really going. I'm thinking this dude trying to get me somewhere and kidnap me, man. That's the thoughts in my head. I say, you know what? I'm going to beat the back of his head in. But I sobered up at some point and said, well, if I kill him down here, how am I going to get out? We're like in a maze. He's going left. He's going right. He's taking 2 left. And I noticed one thing about him. He's very particular in the way he's walking, which is also making me more paranoid. He's saying, like, come over here and take 3 steps here. Get that. And he's looking down at his feet and he's like counting the steps. He know what to go up under. He know what to walk over. And I was looking at the way I was like, why is he so specific? Why is he so calculated with his movements? Why is he doing it? So the more and more I watched him, he kept looking back to see how far I was from him. And I got further. I would let him walk like 10 to 15 feet in front of me. I said, I'm going to let him walk. So every time he looked back, I would come closer. When he turned his head, I would go further. I would let him walk. All right? So I'm starting to sober up more. I'm starting to come down off the high I'm on, right? And now everything looks like real life. I can see the sunset. I can feel things. My reaction time has quickened up now. I can speak now. I'm no longer in my head. Now I'm Dark Knight again. Now I'm normal, right? So he's still walking. And I said, look, can you stop? And I say, I gotta go. Get me home. Get me up out of here. Because at this point, we're surrounded by dark woods. I don't see no lakes, no church, no playgrounds, no wall, no railroads, nothing. It's just trees and darkness around us, right? And I get to a place where I get to a very, very dark place. And the more angry I get, my words decrease. And I get lower and lower. And I'm looking at him, right? And he's sensing, he can feel my energy. And he keeps looking at me. So he's looking at my fist. He sees them bald. He's looking at my posture. My posture is an open stance. I'm looking directly at him. I say, listen, get me up out of here now. I gotta go. Playtime is over. The tour is over. I'm sobered up. Get me out of here right now. So he looks at me. He says, Dwight, I thought we were friends. Like, how do you feel about me? I thought you liked me. I say, what? You thought I what? And he's confessing some type of crush at this moment, which makes me more upset. I thought you liked me. Like, how do you really feel about me? Like, we talk and, nobody else talk to me but you. Like, how do you like, do you like me? I'm like, what do you mean like you? I say, why are you still talking? Get me out of here right now. Right now. But in the back of my mouth, I'm saying, okay, I'm trying to threaten him because I can't beat him up. I can't knock him out because if I do, I'm going to be stuck in this maze, in this woods, in this twilight zone, this multiverse of madness he has me in. So I can't really do nothing to him, but if I scare him enough, I know he's going to get me up out of here. So he said, look at you, man. Look at your shoulders. Look at your size and height. Like, you can really do anything to me. You can have your way with me. And thinking about it even now, it sounds suspect. I think I know what he meant by, if I want to really clamp down, they start beating him like a drum in there. It's not he can do because of his size, right? So I said, man, well, the next word out of your mouth should be, let's walk this way. Get me out of here right now, right? This is a weird part. When I say that, remember, we've just walked, let me see, 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 6 hours, right? It took 6 hours to get to the exact precise location we were in whatever universe he had me in, right? When I look at him and say, get me up out of here, we walked maybe 20 steps and we're back at the car where we entered. And it was weird. It made me mad because I'm thinking this whole time, I know my mind's not playing tricks on me like this. It took us 4 hours. It took us 6 hours to get down, but 20 minutes to leave. And we were deep. We passed a tree. We passed the railroad, the park with the children, the wall, everything. Right? And I know we walking a long time because my feet, it's like I just left football practice. So I know we was walking a long, long time. And I know it just wasn't 20 minutes worth of us walking. Even with me sobered up, it's not 20 minutes. What did he do? What did he take me? So we left and I'm starving. I'm hungry, right? And when people used to drop me at my job, I never take them exactly to my house. I said, all right, man, this is me right here. You sure this is you? I said, yeah. So we picked up his girlfriend, and she came in the car. It was an Asian girl. She went to Georgia Tech. Go figure. And I'm sorry. And she got in the car. She's very jovial. She's very, she got in the car. And my mood wasn't to be, a person to be greeted. And I think she caught that because she said, hey, how you doing? I'm this and that. I was very dry. You know what I mean? I really didn't even look at her. I didn't look at him. I just wanted to go home, right? Go home and drop. And I closed the door. I didn't say anything to him. I just walked down the street and walked to my house. The next day I seen him. Hippie. Work. Now, I got some food in me. I talked to my ex. I'm cool, I'm good. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking it's gonna be more awkward for him than it is for me, right? We go to work. He has this attitude like a woman who hasn't been called by a guy. He has this attitude. He's not talking, right? So the whole day he's avoiding. He's talking but not looking at me. I say, look, man. Check this out. What's up with you, dude? I said, listen, I'm not going to apologize. I don't know how you feel because I really couldn't remember the day, like everything verbatim the next day. I can remember it now, which is crazy. I said, I do remember the gist of the journey. And you have this attitude walking back and forth by me. I said, shouldn't I have an attitude, dude? Shouldn't I be frustrated? Just think about it. You took me somewhere I didn't know where you were going. You didn't warn me. I still don't know what your intent for taking me there. And I felt like if you thought I was high and just, you know what I'm saying, that in that crazy state of mind I was in, I don't know what would have happened. I don't know if we would have been here today speaking. I still don't know what your intentions are, right? And he don't give me an answer. He gives me a, I don't know, you in the mood, And he's still not really giving me the intent. And I'm thinking about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like he was being disrespectful. I felt like he should apologize. So he like, man, well, if you felt it, I apologize because you were, you scared me. You scared me. And I remember saying to him, like, I remember saying, like, I told her I was tired from work. I haven't ate. You took me there. We walked I remember 6 hours of us being wherever we were. I could never find that place again after that day. I looked it up. I drove past. I could never, ever find that opening to that place he took me. He quit the next week. He been there longer than me. Way before I got there, he was there. He stayed a year. We worked together for a year. And the next week, after that confrontation, after that situation, he left. I don't know who he was. I don't know where I was. I don't know what his intent. But I can tell you his intent was not just. Whenever you lead with deceit and not communicating, you have an insidious intent, I feel. And I will never forget that day. Ever. Somebody could have been hurt. I don't know if he was leading me somewhere. I don't know, because if we didn't leave, I was going to do something to him. In my mind, I was ready to, at that state of mind I was in, when you're dehydrated, when you're hungry, you haven't eaten, you're hot, you're exhausted, that plays tricks on the brain. I'm already seeing, like, having hallucinations. I'm under the influence, and I see you as my common threat. I was going to do something to him. I never felt the urge to really hurt someone for my survival ever in my life. And you heard the stories that I've told on this channel. He left the next week. Why? Why did you leave? Never saw Manuel again. Ever. Nobody I worked with. The day he was scheduled, he didn't call in and quit. He just never showed up to his shifts. Never to be seen again. You guys have to tell me what you think about this video, about this story. This is a story that still to this day gives me pause. Even telling you guys the story is giving me goosebumps. I promise you, I got goosebumps. If I had a video, if this was video, you can see the goosebumps I have of the time, my journey in the multiverse of madness. This is Dark Knight Radio. I'm Dark Knight. You guys be good. Be safe.